Let's talk about whether or not it is safe to share your kids online and if it's actually good to share your kids online. There's like two schools of thought on this, and you can let me know what you think about this topic in the comments because there's one school of thought of like you absolutely should never share your pictures of your kids online. And then there's another school of thought that it's like, yeah, it's totally okay so long as it's safe. And I believe that it's okay so long as it's safe. But there is a huge, huge problem going on right now with oversharing about what your kids are doing in their lives, whether it's pictures, it's videos, it's moments, or it's stories, whatever it is, you may be oversharing a little bit too much. So I just saw that there is a TV like docu-series on the dark side of the internet. There's like a sharenting series. There's a bunch of things that are now coming out in the media about this whole thing called sharenting, which is basically like when you're sharing way too much information about your kids online. So that's what we're going to talk about in this video. And then I'm going to share with you a resource that I created to help you determine whether or not you're sharing way too much about your kids online. I mean, essentially, it's like the 13 pictures and videos that I see parents posting all the time that you absolutely should not post. So I'm going to roll the intro and then we're going to begin as always. Talk soon. Welcome to the Protect Kids Online live stream. I'm CyberFareedah. I have a background in cybersecurity awareness, threat intelligence, online gaming, and other nerdy stuff. I've taken my gaming experiences and professional background to help parents like you protect their children online. I'm known as an award-winning Forbes 30 Under 30 internet safety expert, and I've been in some places on the internet and beyond that you may recognize. So without further ado, let's talk. 3, 2, 1. I saw this video on LinkedIn. I think, yeah, it was LinkedIn like a couple days ago. And no, actually it was Instagram a couple days ago. And I thought, you know what? We should watch this video together. So all of the videos that we're watching today, I have not watched any one of them. We're going to watch it together and we're going to talk about the dangers of posting your kids online. I think this will be pretty fun. So let me know your thoughts about the entire thing in the chat. And let's begin. I can't remember. Is this German? I don't know. Let me know if you can hear the video. Type 1 in the comments if you hear the video. Oh my, wait, hold on. They said 8 out of 10 parents. I missed that. They said 8 out of 10 parents have followers they've never met. Okay, so this goes into what I always say about having private accounts. So the number one thing I always get asked is, okay, let's just say that I am posting my kids online, but I have a private account and no one else is seeing the photos but my family and friends. So in this statistic, I don't know where they got this from, so I cannot back this up, and I don't think they added who it's from. Maybe it's from this actual organization. I didn't get their name yet, but this is some big organization in Europe. I can't remember which country. But anyways, a lot of parents ask me that, and I say, well, yes, it's okay if you're posting your kids online with a private account. The only problem is a lot of people, and from this statistic, 8 out of 10, have followers, have friends on your account that you've never actually met. So you don't even know if these people are good people, if they're predators, if they're not predators. And a lot of predators typically are people that you know, people that your kids are around all the time. So that's a whole other discussion. We're not going to have it here, but that is something to know. But in terms of the online world, if you have a private account, but you're adding people you don't know, then it's no longer really a private account. So you want to get in the habit of like triple checking if it's truly a private account. And if a picture or a photo, or not a picture or photo, if a picture or a video you've posted about your kid or a story you post about your kid, you really want it to remain private. And if you're going to be so upset that it goes out to the public and you're not double checking who's in your friends list, then that's a huge problem. So start getting in the habit of, if you connect with a friend from college or from your job or from a friend of a friend, or you went somewhere, always double check that that's actually the person that you're talking to and not just a random account that is saying that it is your cousin or your niece or your nephew or whatever it is in the account. So that's something to know if you have a private account. Yes, it's better than posting in public, but you still want to be cautious. Oh, wow. Oh. Oh, this is deep. Oh, this is really deep.
Hey, Mom. Hey, Dad. It's me, Ella.
Whoa.
Well, a digital version of me. Just a bit older. Amazing what technology can do these days, isn't it? All you need are a couple of pictures, like the ones you share on social media, where they can be taken and used by everybody. I know, for you, these pictures are just memories. But for others, they are data. And for me, maybe the beginning of a horrible future. A future where my identity can be stolen just like that. Where I can go to prison for things that I would never do. Imagine my credit score being destroyed, Dad. Or my voice copied to scam you, Mom.
Mom, I'm in trouble.
I need you to send me money, please. I don't want to become a meme, humiliated by everyone at school.
Kill yourself, you fucking loser.
Ooh, damn.
And I certainly don't want this. What you share online is like a digital footprint that will follow me around for the rest of my life. I'm telling you this because I know you love me and would never do anything to harm me. So please, Mom, please, Dad, protect my virtual privacy.
Wow, that was very powerful. That is very, very powerful. Okay, so I wrote some notes as I was watching the video because, and you can search this on YouTube if you want to share it with your friends and family. I'll put all the resources in the comments as well, so it's easier to find them. Let me go back here. Okay, so I shared a couple of resources based off of the video and what they were saying in the video. I'm going to share this video so that you can share with your friends and family if you want to. And Feather says, private accounts do not assure safety. Your friends can be unsafe people unbeknownst to you. That's also a really good point that I did not even say. So thank you, Feather. Yes, so your friends could also be unsafe people in terms of even the people that you think are your friends, maybe behind your back sharing photos of other people that you don't want them to share with. So one of the things that they said in the video was they talked about deepfakes. And I made a video about this, but if you're unfamiliar with deepfakes is basically, think of it like Photoshop, but for videos and also for voice messages. So for voice, like voice calls, telephone calls, it could be a voice message to your phone, whatever it is. There's Photoshop for your voice and there's Photoshop for your videos. That's essentially what deepfakes are. And they also can be used for pictures, as we saw in the video. And so deepfake scams can be used in two different ways, as they covered in the video. The first way, and I don't know, maybe I should go back to the video to like scroll to that point. But the first way is that they can act like your kid did something that your kid did not actually do. And I know when we're talking about this subject, it feels like, oh, this is Black Mirror. This is going to happen in like 20 years. Actually, no, there was a case where there is a cheerleader's mom who really did not like another cheerleader on her child's, either I think it was on the rival team. And so apparently this allegedly, the mom made a deep fake about her child's rival and the other cheerleader team doing something that was absolutely illegal and can get her kicked off of her cheerleading team. And so she released that video and sent it to other parents and other people in the school. And so when the school got a hold of the video with the child doing something that she's not supposed to be doing, they kicked her off of the team thinking that the video was actually real and the video was fake. And I've heard from other people and other studies showing that kids are using some of the deepfake software, the photoshopping software for videos and voice, to make it seem like your child has done something that they have not actually done. And then in the video, they showed, well, I'm not going to get into that. I put a note about that because I don't want to lose my train of thought. So that can happen to your child. And the way that it's done is that they collect a bunch of photos or a bunch of videos or a bunch of voice recordings of your child, and they put it together. And so typically these systems need a lot of photos and they need a lot of videos in order to create something about your child that didn't actually happen. But the technology is slowly getting better. It's not like perfect. Even you can see in the video that it feels a little fake. I don't know if you felt like it was fake. Let me know in the comments if you felt like it was fake. But you can kind of tell that it's fake. But at the same time, there are certain videos, especially if it's grainy or if it doesn't look good or the quality is like a little bit low, you can't really tell if it's fake or not. I mean, think about like the movies we see that use CGI, like Avatar, or a lot of the Disney movies you see, all of that is computerized people or things that are happening. And so that similar technology in that same sense, not exactly technically the same, but similar technology can be used against your kids. And so you want to be super, super careful about that and to talk to your kids about what they post about themselves, but also to be mindful about what you post about them, because they can be compiled into something completely different. And so if you want to see that video that I did, let's see. If you want to see that video I did, go to my YouTube channel. I'm not going to search it for right now, but just type deepfakes impact your kids. If you really want it, let me know in the comments. I can put it in the description below after this video, and I will link it so that you can have it. The second thing that they mentioned in this video was what they call like virtual kidnapping scams, where they use the voice of your child based off of voice recordings or videos that you posted of your child online. They combine all of those voice clips to change your child's voice to be saying something that they're not actually saying and to scare you into doing something because you're, of course, worried about the safety of your child. They've done this to many parents before where they take a video, and actually I'm going to share a video right now. I wasn't planning on, but this is virtual kidnapping scam. Virtual kidnapping calls. And I believe the GMA did this. Okay, yeah. Good Morning America did this. So I'm going to share this video after this ad stops playing.
State Farm was there for your what ifs.
What if?
I don't know if you can hear that though. Like, anyway, so I'm going to pause it, but I'm going to share with you the link to the video I just showed is right above your comment, Feather. I think I put in the chat. If it doesn't link to that, let me know. If it doesn't link to that, let me know. Okay. So here is a virtual kidnapping scam that I was talking about.
Now with our series, Scam You. A new FBI report finds that nearly 40,000 victims lost about $55 million from extortion scams last year.
This is not the one I'm trying to talk about. Oh my God, it's another one. There's another video. Thanks for your patience. It's another video. Virtual kidnapping scam mom. That's the one. Woman says kidnap and virtual hoax, kidnapping scam, deepfakes. That's the one. So they essentially use a call. Yeah, it's AI cloning. This is the one that I'm talking about.
Going to turn now to a news.
Okay, so let's do full screen and then let's share with you this. Let me know if you can hear it. Type 1 in the chat and I will share this video as well.
Scam using artificial intelligence to clone voices. One Arizona mother shared her story of a kidnapping hoax. It sounded all too real. Ariel Reshef here with the details. Good morning, Ariel.
Good morning to you, George. We've reported on these kidnapping scams where a perpetrator falsely claims they're holding a loved one hostage and demands ransom. But this case is the latest eerie example of how criminals can use technology to manipulate your own voice or someone you love's to prey on your worst fears. This morning, an urgent warning from an Arizona mom who says she was the victim of a terrifying voice cloning hoax.
I just walked inside and started screaming for help.
Jennifer DiStefano says when she recently received a call from an unknown number, she almost didn't answer. But her 15-year-old daughter, Brianna, was on a skiing trip and she worried it could be an emergency. So she picked up.
And it's my daughter's voice crying and sobbing, saying, Mom. And I'm like, okay, what happened? She's like, Mom, these bad men have me. Help me, help me.
DiStefano says a man demanded ransom in exchange for Brianna. He didn't want a wire transfer, but instead told her he'd pick her up.
I started to wonder, like, if these people were, like, asking to track my mom and, like, pick her up, like, they could have obviously been, like, putting some information together to try and track me or some of my siblings to actually make this a reality. So it definitely scared me.
Within minutes, they confirmed her daughter was safe. She says it was all a scheme using artificial intelligence to replicate her daughter's voice.
Most people in the modern age have some form of an online identity and have probably spoken in some way, in some aspect that's been recorded, especially if you're under the age of 25. So this becomes very, very challenging as we move into a future where we do have these AI generators or synthetic audio when it comes to verification and validation.
Experts caution anyone with the right software can clone voices in just a matter of seconds.
There's a lot of positive and exciting aspects about these technologies, but then of course they also come with a lot of risks and harms.
It's a good thing to remember, and experts say scammers who use voice cloning technology often find that audio on social media. So how do you protect yourself? Maybe keep your profile private on that setting that only allows you to approve who is accessing it. And also, if you're getting a call from an unfamiliar area code or an international number, that can be an immediate red flag.
Could be, but could also not be.
Great advice here, Ariel. Thank you so much. Well, hey there.
Another thing that I thought they were going to mention in the video, but they didn't mention, was to have like a pin. I can't remember what I usually call, like a safety pin or something that you go through with your child. So you'll say a word, be like, okay, are you okay? And your child will say a particular keyword that will let you know that, yeah, they're totally fine. Just to see if that's actually your child. You can come up with something in the family where if I say this particular thing, I'm in danger. If I say this particular thing, I'm not in danger. And the person on the other end of the line has no idea what you're talking about. And so if nothing is happening, then you can be like, okay, this is a scam. Another thing you want to do, no matter what happens, if you ever get a phone call like this, by the way, this is not an isolated incident that I just shared. This has happened to so many people, so much so that alerts had to be sent out. I believe the FBI sent out an alert. Please don't quote me on this, but the FBI sends out a lot of alerts around these things. If they did not now, they're going to do in the future. And so what was I saying? Oh yeah, hanging up the phone instead of staying on the line. I know it's very, very difficult in that moment because you want to make sure your child is okay. And they're very convincing that your child is actually on the other end of the line and it's not a deep fake or an AI cloning software. But if at all possible, hang up and say, hey, I'm going to call you right back. Or if you have a second phone, if you have a home phone and you can pick it up and call your child and see where they actually are, many times your child is completely fine. And I hopefully that you never, ever, ever experience a moment where it's actually real. So those are things that have been going around for a very long time. And I'm going to share this link in case that you want to share it with your friends and family because it's really important. Here's the second link. Okay. So there was this lawyer that explained to Global BC about the impact of posting posting pictures of your kids online. And I wanted to go over their video with you as well. Because it's really important to get perspectives from different people of different backgrounds. So in the other video, we got a perspective of someone who is amazing. I follow her on social media. She does a lot on the future of tech and what's going on. So we got her perspective and we got perspective from parents and we got perspective from governments. And I want to give a perspective from a lawyer because yeah, it's really important. Will I post a replay of this live? Absolutely. It's always live. So every time I go live on YouTube, I always save the replay. It's always in my Protect Kids Online live stream playlist. And I typically always go live at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. But sometimes like today, I'm a little bit late because things happen in, life. But yes, the replay for this will be live as soon as we're done. Okay, let me share this one. This video, the one that we're talking about right now. Is this the right one? Yeah, this is the right link. Oops. Oh, that's not the right link. That's not the right link because I put a little thing on. Oh, no. Oh, they did the right one. Okay, never mind. Whatever. False alarm is the right one. Keep in mind, I know typically don't watch these videos before I share it with you because I think it's cool to get like a live reaction. Oh, another thing that I want to say before we play this video, because I forgot. This is why I write notes as we're talking, as the video is playing, so I don't forget. So I talked about that. There's a kidnapping scam that we talked about. And then there's a resource. So if you ever, when you're posting pictures of your kids online, those pictures can be used as explicit pictures. And this has been found a lot in many different websites where it's a regular post that people put online and then it's turned into an explicit photo by using some of these AI or deepfake or new technology, if you will, softwares. And so this has been around for a very long time, people photoshopping a different face on a different body. And people have done that to people's kids before. Even if you're not a big time influencer or celebrity or whatever, they have done that. And sometimes they like to target smaller people or smaller channels or not private accounts, but smaller accounts, because they know that it's easier to get into your stuff. This has happened before in terms of changing a regular innocent photo into an explicit photo. This has happened to someone's daughter before, but in her private Snapchat account. So her daughter had a private Snapchat account and she shared like a photo of her on the beach with her friends, and someone got access, a predator got access to her Snapchat account and downloaded the photos that she was sending and found out where she lived and changed the photos she sent into explicit photos and tried to blackmail her and her mother. And the way that he was able to get into the account was because the password was like a password that was reused before. And so even when we're talking about photo safety, if you have a private account or you have a private Facebook or whatever it is, you still want to make sure that you have really good passwords and manage your passwords correctly, because a lot of the time they can just go and sign into your Gmail account or sign into your Apple account or sign into your social media account and get access to videos and pictures or conversations that you have with your family or your kids. So you also want to be mindful on that instance that you're having good security and safety. And if at all, if anything I'm talking about in this and you're like, oh my God, I'm really confused, I'm overwhelmed, I have no idea, like, how do I protect my online accounts? I have a bunch of videos on there, but if you need support and you need help and you want me to walk you through this, you should check out the Protect Kids Online movement, or you can go to protectyourchildonline.com, and that's where I like support you. I do monthly calls. I do have a welcome support call. Can chat with you for like 15, 20 minutes, stuff like that. So if you need that and you're confused, feel free to join the Protect Kids Online movement. I think the link is in the comments as well. I put the link here if you want it as well. Okay. Oh, and then there's another resource. If you ever find an explicit photo of your kids online and you want to report it, there's a website. NCMEC has something called explicit photos. If you want to get it removed, and this is of your children online, child abuse material. Here it is. You can report it and you can try to get it removed. And so here is a link to get more information about of any material that you may find of your kids online. Okay, so that is a really good resource that I highly recommend that you look into. So let's watch this video.
These days, isn't it? All you need are a couple. Amazing what technology can do these days, isn't it? All you need are a couple of pictures.
Based off
like
of the video that we just saw.
You share on social media, where they can be taken and used by everybody. What you share online is like a digital footprint that will follow me around for the rest of my life. I'm telling you this because I know you love me and would never do anything to harm me. So please, Mom, please, Dad, protect my virtual privacy.
That chilling message from a German telecommunications giant is making the rounds on social media. It's an important message about the potential consequences of sharing your child's image and other personal information online. To talk more about that, we are joined by Leah Plunkett, a lawyer and author of Sharenthood, Why We Should Think Before We Talk About Our Kids Online. Leah, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Why is this topic so important to you?
This topic is so important to me because I am a lawyer and I'm also a parent. And so I came to this topic in order to try to figure out practical, ethical ways to share or not share information about my own children digitally. And then as I looked further into that important conversation, I broadened out the conversation to include all the other parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles, teachers, coaches, and other trusted adults who have to steward our children's privacy.
All right. And as we saw in that video there, that was just a short snippet of it, but it really goes on to show that an image can be used and altered to create so-called deep fakes. And those could go on to haunt children for years on end, far into the future. What would you say to parents about posting their images online? Is it a complete no-go, or what should you be mindful of?
I would encourage parents to be mindful of how to be a smarter sharent. So sharent being a combination of the words, of course, share and parent. I would say avoid any pictures of your child in any state of undress, even if it is a totally innocent day at the beach picture. Avoid posting any information that fully identifies your child by name, date of birth, or location. Ideally, don't post pictures of your children on social media. Instead, look for other ways to share exciting moments with trusted family, friends, and others in your communities that don't involve social media posts.
Interesting. Yeah, it certainly, I think, has a lot of parents thinking, myself included. I have young ones. I have shared some images online, but you know what? I'm really thinking twice about whether I will even continue to do that. Are there any ways to, if you do decide to pull down those images, are they still out there forever? Is there any actions that we can take as parents to better protect our kids online?
To better protect our kids online, as you said, going and pulling down images that you've posted is a really important first step. You're absolutely right that once an image gets out there digitally, it is hard to completely and totally recall it. Think even about the actions that individuals can take, let alone AI or other machines. People can download images, they can do screenshots, they can hold on to them. But I would say a really good first step is, if you've already posted, go ahead and take those pictures down and don't post future ones.
Never feel like, oh, just because I posted a picture of my kids online and just because it lives online forever. Sorry, I had to mute there. I was like coughing my head off because I drink water the wrong way. But anyways, just because you delete a photo, or a photo can never be deleted online, does not mean that you cannot delete a photo that you already posted. It's better to just delete it, even though it may be living on some other platform, or it may have been downloaded or copied by somebody else or archived somewhere on the internet. Does not mean that you taking it off your profile is fruitless. There are many times where really safety is just about doing the most that you can do to get to better safety and security. So even if you delete it from your profile and it's archived on a different website, it still makes it harder for a predator or a hacker who's trying to get information on you to get information on you if it's not always available all in one place on your profile. So making it harder to get information about you and your kids is still beneficial, even if nothing really deletes on the internet. So she's absolutely right about that.
You can also make sure that anything that you need to communicate in the future is done through a more secure channel, like a secure messaging app. You can also model good digital citizenship practices for your children in ways that are age appropriate and developmentally appropriate for them, such as asking for their consent, or at least their input, before you ever share anything about them digitally that you're not required to share. I don't mean that parents should stop using digital medical records, for instance, or digital educational records, but in terms of the social sharing, involve your children and model for them that once a picture leaves the privacy and goes into a digital setting, then it can be used and reused and repurposed in countless ways now and in the future by people and institutions that you may not even know.
And a really important conversation for all of us to be having. Leah, thank you.
She wrote a book on parenting, which is like, I didn't read it yet, so I probably should read it. That would be really cool. And then I can share with you what I thought about the book. But I believe I shared this video in the chat already so that you can watch it. If you want to, you can watch it with your kids. And then at the end of this video, I'm going to share, is it VGTRC something? Yeah, okay. So this video, if you want to share with your friends and family, it's already linked in the chat at 8:21 p.m. I put it in the chat. There is a show about the dark side of posting on social media that is going on. I think it's on Hulu or whatever. I'll share that at the end of the video. If it's really good, I mean, by the way, I haven't watched it yet, so I can't say anything. But if it's really good, I would suggest you watch it with your teens. And like the lawyer said in the video, remember that everything that you're doing online, you're modeling for your kids what to do and what not to do. So if you don't want your kids to post anything about their lives, then don't do the same for them. If you want them to be mindful about how they're posting, where they're posting, when they're posting, you have to be mindful about that too. So if you're ever confused again on the pictures or videos that you share with your kids, let me share this tab. So I made a whole, oh, look at that. Yeah, okay. I made a whole free resource library. And you can see some of the pictures and videos that you should not download for your kids. So I'm going to share this resource library. I didn't put this here, but the resource library has like unsafe parental control apps, general safety checklists, how to enable Apple parental controls, safer games for your kids. It's like a bunch of things. But inside of the resource library, there's something called the 13 pictures that you do not want to post of your kids online. And so I'm leaving that resource library here so that you have it for yourself. Let's see if I have my free resource. I don't know if I can find it. Anyways, so you can have that as well. And then the Today Show did something around like why you should be careful about what you're posting of your kids online. And I thought, hey, let's watch that together as well. One of the things she said in her interview about not posting about your kids is even if you think something is a regular picture and is totally normal and it's a day on the beach for the family and they're in a bathing suit or whatever, or let's say they're taking a shower, even though it's something that's super innocent to you, you have to be mindful about that because those photos can be downloaded and put on websites that you do not want your kids on because they are explicit websites and doing some disgusting things in terms of taking kids' photos and using them. And I was talking to an internet safety expert. Her name is Kathy Pedrayas. She's absolutely amazing. You may have seen some of her videos on TikTok. She has like, I don't know, maybe 4 million followers or something. And she said that when she posted the birth of her son on Instagram, she was being super mindful about the photos that she was posting of her son. And so she decided that she was not going to share a picture of the face of her son, but she was just going to do, I think she had like a board, like something like a board. And then it had like a date of birth or no, he's here or something like, I don't think it had a date of birth. It was like, he's here. And then it had a picture of his feet and it was really, really cute. And it was an awesome photo. And I think I saw that photo. I think I liked it. Anyways, she told me that after, I think she took that photo down because she said that when she was doing some research on something, I don't remember what it was, but it was something dealing with sharing photos of your kids online. She found out that there were sites dedicated to children's feet. And she was absolutely mortified, as I am right now. And so she was like, sometimes it feels like you have no idea what to do. And it feels like no matter what you do, even if you're trying to protect your child's privacy, something is always going to come up. And so one of her ways of operating is that she's going to try her best to protect her kids online. And if something comes up, she's not going to beat herself up. She'll just take a photo down or she'll reevaluate how she's posting about her kids online. She still posts like pictures here and there, like cute pictures and videos, but she's super mindful. She was like, now she started to cover her child's feet. She was like, I thought this is like the craziest thing ever, but I just decided we're only posting a couple cute photos of him and him playing with a toy. And she just gave birth to a baby girl, like congratulations to her. And so she was being very mindful about how she was posting. And when she wants to do like a family post, she'll like do a family post, but you can't really see her son's face. And maybe I can show examples in here. If you want me to show examples, let me know. I can pull up her Instagram account because she did a maternity shoot with her husband, but she did not really want to show too many pictures of her kid. I'm going to share this tab. Okay, let's see. We'll share her Instagram here. Okay. So where is it? So this is a picture. She posted a picture of her child. And then she did like a maternity shoot. Where is it? I'm trying to find. Okay, here's. So she says idea for privacy-minded maternity shoot right here. So you can see with all of the photos that she posted, when she shared the ultrasound picture, she shared a picture of her child, his face was not fully visible. So you can ask your photographer to either blur out the faces or make pictures where the face of your child is not fully visible, so you can still share some really cute and awesome moments with your kid, not with your kids, but with your family, with your friends, or people on social media. So she's like a bigger time influencer, and so she has to be super mindful of what she's sharing. Inside, I think I put this in the resource library, but if you're sharing pictures of your kids, also be mindful of ultrasound pictures, and she posted about that as well. So even if you zoom into her ultrasound pictures, you can't find information about her or anything about the baby or the hospital or the doctor or something like that. And so I really like the way that she did this. I think she had another one. This is funny. I like the way that she shares certain things. So you'll see her picture of her kid here. So she has like a picture of her and her child by the pool. And as you can see, she's being super mindful about privacy and her kid. And so you can still share about your life online if you really want to. You just want to be super mindful about how you do it. There are other examples of parents who post pictures of their kids online, and they're doing it in a way that's being mindful of their child's safety and security. As your child gets older, you want to let's say stop sharing. Okay. You want to also be mindful about if they're okay with you sharing certain photos as they get older. So getting in the habit of asking for their consent before posting. It might feel weird. It might sound weird. But again, you're modeling for your kids what you want them to do. You don't want your kids to turn out to be one of those people that is snapping photos and videos of kids in school or in college or at work, and they're sharing everything about their life online. There are countless of stories online of kids getting internships and sharing their internships, sharing how they get from home. They go from home to the internship or the dorm room to internship. Their whole journey there. They share their office. They walk around the office. They share their screen. And then they get fired or they get let go from their first job or internship. This has happened to so many teens. So if you have teens that are in that point where they're at their first job or internship, talk to them about, have you seen those viral videos about people being laid off of their job because they posted online, right? Feather said it is also an option to not post anything about your child ever, which is also very true. You don't never have to post about your child. So if you feel like pressured to, for whatever reason, by your friends, by your family members to post about your kid, and you do not want to post about your kid, but you still want to share, like, let's just say you never want to post about your kid. You made a decision. That's a great decision. Awesome. Congratulations. But you still want to share something with your mother. Okay. And you know your mother really wants to send a picture of her grandchild, and so you want to share some pictures. You can use different software or different application in order to share the pictures with your friends and family, but not share it on social media. So here's one way that you can do it. You can use like Google Photos. Let me share my screen again. I don't know why I stopped sharing on, like, why do we do things? Okay. What's the reason? But you can do something like Google Photos. There's other apps that you can use. I'm just saying Google Photos for now. I can do a whole video if you want. I can do a whole video of like alternative ways to share pictures with your friends and family. Like I'll write that down and do a post. You know what? That's what I'll do. I'll do like alt ways to share pictures with your friends and family. I'm writing that down. Give me a second. Ways to share with your friends and family. So Google has an option where you can have like, you can store these photos in a particular folder, and you can share the link with your mother or father. It's my absolute pleasure. You can share it with them, and you can share that link and you can upload it. So every time there's a new photo, you don't have to send them the new photo. You can just be like, just save this to your Google Photos. It's like a little thing. And then everyone has Gmail. I'm pretty sure if you don't have Gmail, you don't have Gmail. That's fine. You don't have to have Gmail. But most people in the world have Gmail. And if you don't have Gmail, that's fine. There are other ways that you can do this. I believe you're going to need a Gmail account for this. But you can share memories with your friends and family. You can also explore places on the map, things, whatever. You can edit the photos. I don't think we're less into the editing of the photos, but more of sharing these with your friends and family. So you can have that if you really want to. Just search Google Photos and you'll have that. Okay, so let's go back to this tab around sharing with your friends and family. If you're looking for like a secure messaging app and you want to message something to your friends and family, but you don't want to put it on like a Facebook Messenger, you can do your regular messages on your phone. You can do Signal. Signal's good. You can use Telegram. You can use WhatsApp. Whatever works for you, works for you. Okay. All right. So let's watch this next video that I have not seen because I think it's kind of cool for me to see a video with you and then comment on it.
Digital kidnapping. And yes, it is as scary as it sounds. As parents, we love to take photos of our kids and post them. It's a great way to keep our family and friends in the loop. But now experts are issuing this new alert that bad guys are using our posts against us to track our children. This morning, you're about to see how they do it, plus the simple setting on your phone that you can change right now to protect your family.
Your baby catching.
From Facebook to Instagram, parents sharing their children's lives online. But now the new world crime, digital kidnapping, predators stealing your kids' photos and spreading them online. This stranger posting on Facebook claiming this girl was his daughter. In another recent case, a child's photo was tagged on a porn site. Turns out most of us are putting our own families at risk, and we have no idea.
Happy Thursday.
You post all the time.
Yeah, I like to post about the kids.
That's Michelle and Reese. They think we're doing a general story about social media. What they don't know, back in Ohio, cyber safety expert Jesse Weinberger is poring over their social media pages, checking for private information. So what do you find here?
Through mom's Facebook account and everything that she's posted, I was able to find out husband's name, children's names. She has 2 children. I know their ages. I know their dates of birth. I know where they go to school. I have the address of the school. I have the name of the teacher. Ooh, I know exactly which playgrounds they visit, how often they like to go to each playground.
You were showing me a map where you're actually able to find out the path they take to school, how they walk and when.
Right. It wasn't hard.
That's crazy.
But even scarier, she says our photos can have a hidden location signature embedded in them. Even if you don't tag the location, anyone can still find out where you are. What's the danger here?
For example, I know that one of her children broke his leg. How easy would it for me to be to come up to the kid and say, oh, you don't remember me, but I was the nurse when you came to the emergency room. How's your leg feeling?
Come with me.
Come with me.
Time for the moment of truth. Come have a seat right over here. I tell Michelle and Reese what we uncovered. We actually had a cybersecurity expert pour through your social media pages. And she put together a dossier.
Imagine
on
hearing
your
that.
Children, okay, on your family.
Oh, Lord.
Found out some pretty creepy stuff. I know your 2 sons are Oxford and Ozark. I know where they go to school. I know your route to school.
That's scary.
I also know that your son likes to play chess.
Yes.
Ozark does. He's participated in youth wrestling.
Yes.
I don't want to say their last names, but I know your kids' babysitters' names. Who's Grammy B?
That's my mom.
Your mom.
Yeah.
Think about the
Not
information,
putting that
even just that I've said so
on the
far.
interview.
If this were a bad person, an online predator, I know where your kids go to school. I can walk up and say, hey, Grammy B sent me. And suddenly they can get away with your child.
You don't want to set your child up for something dangerous.
And we don't even realize it. And I'm a parent too, and I do the same thing. I think we all do.
I'm glad he did that.
I mean, it's very scary.
So how do you protect your...
Because I feel like if you do that, you put someone on the spot and you on national TV, like, yeah, hi, like I'm pretty sure they felt like, oh my God, like we're bad or whatever. So I'm very happy that in the interview, he said, yeah, you know, I'm a parent and I do that and I don't know either. So that's good on them for doing that. Cause I'm like, I don't know. That's emotional. You know, you can't really do that to someone. But it is very, very good that they did show the impact of posting too much about your kids. So yeah.
Your family on Instagram, make your profile private like that. And on Facebook, click on settings, then privacy, and change right here from public to friends only. And go a step further. On Facebook, categorize your friends in terms of safety. Make separate groups for those you trust the most. And when you post, only share your kids' photos with them. And remember that hidden location feature in some photos? Go to your phone's privacy settings, the camera section, and make sure the location function is off. Also, never put your kids in your profile or cover photo. Those are always public.
It's definitely a really good reminder for all of us to know there are people out in this world and they're using that information to do bad things.
By the way, as we sit here, you're going through your Facebook settings, then your phone settings. It's true. I'm going to show you as soon as we're off the air. I'm going to show you again. But here's another tip for you. You know, you change your clocks every time it's daylight saving time. Experts say use that as a reminder to go through your friends on social media and clean house.
You should do like a digital declutter. So you know how like every spring you do decluttering of your house. You might do every spring, fall, winter, every weekend, whatever you want to do. Like you do the deep cleaning. You can do like a digital cleaning of everything that you've posted online, and you can say, hey, I'm deciding not to post this anymore. And so you can start deleting photos and come up with like a new family rule about what photos we're not going to post, what photos we will post, or not like Feather said, not posting anything whatsoever online can also be a really good way to just like not deal with the headache of it all. But this is just if you really do want to post about your kids online, this is a way that you can protect your kids. And I believe there's a legislation that people are going for in terms of not sharing too much about your kids online. So let's watch that video because I think that would be pretty interesting. So let's share this tab instead.
Beginning of posting. Welcome back. It is a pillar of social media, sharing proud moments, fond memories, even life updates with your friends and followers. But since the beginning of posting, some parents have been oversharing, uploading photos of their children online, coupled with intimate details. And in many cases, the kids don't have a say in what's being shared and who it's being shared with. In the next installment of our series, The Other Side of Social Media, we meet a mom who learned the dangers of oversharing firsthand and a young woman working to protect kids online through legislation. Our Elizabeth Schulze has the story.
For Cody, a single mom in California, the post started as a way to entertain her 3 kids during the pandemic.
I had started just doing some dances with my kids online to kind of pass the day. And pretty quickly, I started gaining some traction, getting a following.
She found a community on Instagram and Facebook.
We used to post 500 pictures a day.
Where she would share update after
500
update
pictures
about
a
her
day?
family.
I would kind of show the ins and outs of being.
Did she say 500 pictures a day? How do you, I don't even know if I take 500 pictures in a year. Maybe I do take, I don't think that's a lot of pictures, girl. What? Wait, go back. Also, there's this picture that they shared, which I thought it was
getting a following.
She found it.
Okay, so this picture that they posted over here, that's a good privacy picture. So if you want to post a picture of you and your family and their faces are like facing away from the camera, that's a good privacy photo. But I just had to go back because I was like 500 pictures. There's no way.
A community on Instagram and Facebook.
We used to post 500 pictures a day.
Where she would share update
Maybe she meant a
after
year.
update about her family.
I would kind of show the ins and outs of being a single mom.
But it wasn't long before her social media presence took a dark turn after a video of her swapping places with her 5-year-old daughter went viral.
I put my phone down after it posted. A couple hours later, checked it again. It was at 6 million views. And, you know, the first thought there is how exciting it was. And then I opened the comments, and the comments were all inappropriate towards her. I was so disgusted. I immediately deleted the video, deleted every video of them on the page, and haven't really looked back.
Even
Good
after
for
wiping
you.
every
Oh, my
picture of
God.
her kids from the internet, she says their school address was leaked and her family started to receive death threats.
I would have gone in to it more prepared, possibly with a, suit of armor, and would never have posted my kids ever.
It's a lesson Cam Barrett says she wishes her mom had learned. When Cam was young, her private life was thrown into the public domain.
And by the way, when you're listening to this influencer say this also applies to smaller profiles as well. So just because it's an influencer talking about this who started a bigger audience does not mean the same thing does not happen to your kids. A lot of parents who don't have bigger audiences found pictures of their kids on different websites or reposted by someone on a different page that went viral on a different page. So be mindful of that.
My mom kind of made like my first.
Young, her private life was thrown into the public domain.
My mom kind of made like my first MySpace account with me. I think that was like my first introduction to like social media, but like as a child, I didn't know better. So I kind of think I like used it more as like a toy.
A toy that soon turned into a digital scrapbook for her mom.
She would just post paragraphs about like my day-to-day life, what I was doing.
Cam's mom sharing moments that were deeply personal, from her first period to photos of her in a bikini as a child. And this moment after Cam was in a car accident.
She was right there taking pictures when I'm like strapped to the gurney and I have a neck brace on. And it's like I needed a hand to hold, but like it was like a camera put in my face instead. And so like I think that was the moment I realized I was just like,
content.
I don't know. I kind of felt like a product almost, because it just was like, it's like I needed my mom in that moment.
Posting snowballed into an addiction for her mom, while Cam endured bullying online.
There would be so many people commenting being like, why is she always sick? Like, what's really wrong with her? Like, is there actually anything wrong with her? It's probably just her anxiety. My mom would make me like her profile picture and stuff. Like, she would get like comments from older men. She didn't know better. You know, the internet was so new to her generation.
Parenting expert Leah Plunkett is the author of Parenthood. She says posting online is now an extension of families' everyday lives.
The online world is and can be and will continue to be super fun.
But she says many parents aren't aware of just who can see their posts.
You really have no reliable way as a parent, or really any user of social media, of knowing exactly which eyeballs will be on the data that is reflected in your post now or in the future.
I had the opportunity to be on a podcast to talk about House Bill 1627.
As the first generation of children with oversharing parents grows up, families and lawmakers are now facing the challenge of how to protect kids' privacy on the mostly unregulated internet.
It's a different culture to grow up in the eye of social media, and the pressures are very different. They're much more intense.
Washington State Representative Christine Reeves co-sponsored a first-of-its-kind bill seeking to regulate parenting vlogs. The bill, which is stalled in the state legislature, would allow kids to request content be taken down once they reach a certain age.
Not all kids get that right or that choice to be included in these materials, and quite frankly don't always get the explanation of what it could mean for them, the implications of it long term.
Cam Barrett testified in favor of the Washington State bill.
I saved that to watch it.
Simply just my first name. Childhood photos of me in bikinis will pop up, and I'm terrified to have those weaponized against me again.
And is now an advocate for children's privacy online.
When I did get on TikTok, I had no intentions of like being a creator or being an advocate for anything. I desperately just want a second chance at life. And people were really like receptive to that. And a lot of people resonated with that. And so that's kind of how like my platform got built.
If you do have to include your kids, blur their faces, show the back of them. Don't share things like full names. Don't share birthdays. Don't share locations. Don't share schools.
Cody knows not all families are willing to remove all content of their kids online, but encourages other parents to think twice before clicking that upload button.
We can't avoid
Always
our kids
think
living
twice.
their lives. Obviously, we want them to do that. We can avoid them being shown to millions of strangers unnecessarily for no reason.
Hi, everyone.
Okay, so the last thing that we will chat about today, because that was like, whew, that was a lot, is the new docuseries about what's going on. I thought that was really interesting, and if I think it's really good, you can share with your kids. The legislation that they were talking about, House Bill 1627, I saved a live stream about that bill. And so I most likely will be sharing my points from it. And like, it didn't really go too far in the whole legal process, but it would be interesting to see how far it goes. So I'll do a full live on that, because I just, when they shared the clip, I was like, oh my God, I remember that clip. So I'm going to share that. The last thing we'll talk about is the docuseries. So let's watch the docuseries trailer, and then I will watch it. And if I like it, I think I will talk about it on social media, but we're just chatting about it here. So anyways.
To a GMA First Look, it's called The Age of Influence. It's a new docuseries from our teammates at ABC News Studios, and it examines the dark side of influencer culture and some of the most infamous social media scandals, including that terrifying tale of the mother behind a once popular YouTube series. Take a look.
Fantastic Adventures was a successful YouTube channel.
it was massive. They had nearly 1 million subscribers and hundreds of millions of views on these videos. When reporting this story, I talked to a lot of neighbors, people in Michelle's orbit, and the prevailing sense I got was that Michelle was very secretive. They kind of thought, well, we knew there were kids in this house, but we never saw them out riding bikes. We never saw them going to the park. We didn't hear playing in the pool much. We do not know what went on a daily, hourly basis. But it's pretty clear YouTube was a almost full-time job. They were making a living off Fantastic Adventures. These kids were pulled from school so they could act 24/7. The parent has a lot of power there.
Once they were pulled out of school, once she could really focus her efforts into generating content, that's when the YouTube channel really started to rise to prominence. Social media, Facebook, anything like that. New technology, new freedoms inherently come with new risks and new problems that we didn't anticipate.
It might be interesting to watch with your teens.
There are those people that are really just documenting their everyday family life. When
Yeah,
done
it would
right,
be interesting because as you're watching it, you can ask your kids how do they feel about you posting pictures of them online if you already do, or their friends' parents posting pictures of them online, and you can have like a deeper discussion about this in a way that keeps their intention and is engaging. So I like that they're doing more of these shows because it allows you to open up to have more internet safety conversations, even if you're not the one who typically is posting about your kids online. So I think it's pretty good. We'll watch the ending. I think it's like what? Yeah, like 40 more.
that's a great thing to do. When done wrong, you get Michelle Hobson.
Wow. And The Age of Influence begins streaming this Monday, June 5th, only on Hulu.
I'm hooked.
Yep.
Yeah.
Intrigued.
Yep.
Compelled.
I don't have anything to add.
Yeah, it's like what's going on. Anyway, so yeah, apparently it's on Hulu. I have Hulu. I'll go watch it. I'll pull some clips on social media. If you want to share the video clip on the legislation that is trying to be passed on not sharing too much about your kids online, that's the video. I just posted it in the chat. And if you want the video that we just looked at, The Age of Influence on Hulu, I'll post it in the chat as well. At the end of the day, the question that we're asking in the beginning of the video is sharing your kids online bad? And the answer is yes, if you're not being careful about how you're sharing about them, how, when, where you're sharing about them, especially if you're talking about really sensitive moments, if you're not asking their permission. We went through all of that. So yes, it's bad if you're not being mindful, if you're not consciously sharing, but it can be a good thing if you're sharing consciously with safety in mind, with understanding of what could happen. Every single thing we talked about in this entire video today, this whole live stream, those are the dangers of posting your kids online. We can go very, very deep in any one of the topics that we covered, but I wanted to do like a broad overview of what we're looking at when it comes to oversharing about your kids online. So just be mindful moving forward about how you are sharing about your kids online. And again, if you want the free resource on the 13 pictures to never post of your kids, go to the link in my description. I always post about that. If you ever get overwhelmed or confused, or you want to talk to me about internet safety, then also, again, the link in my description, I always put all the links in the description unless I forget. If I forget, just let me know in the comments. Be like, hey, Fareedah, do you have the link for this? I couldn't find it. And I would just send you the link. Like, it's not that serious. I'll take time out as much as I can possibly take time out, and I will respond and make sure that you get the resources that you need in order to protect your kids online, because you never should have to do this alone. But I also don't want to share news stories with you or the dangers of something with you and then scare you. And then there's like absolutely no solution. There's no other way. There's no alternative. I want you to feel empowered with the decisions that you make as a parent and know that you are ultimately the expert in your child. And just along the way, inform yourselves about how the world is moving in a different direction, how quickly it's moving, and the impact of what we do as adults online with the children in our lives. So hopefully you're having an absolutely amazing day. If you're not already subscribed to the YouTube channel, subscribe for more information like this. Share my videos with friends or family members that would benefit from it. And until next time, bye.